The third paramita is the paramita of patience, forbearance, or tolerance. It's very important that we work on our impatience, on our anger, because hatred and anger is regarded as the most strongest negative emotion. Because ignorance is something that can be slowly worked on. It's important to do away with that, but it is not something that has an emergent negative result. Your attachment is also important, but there has some positive sides to it also. But hatred and anger always brings something really tragically negative to yourself and to others, and it's immediately. So therefore, if you cannot do something about it when the anger arises and hatred arises, then it does a very strong destruction for ourselves and others. So therefore, we have to work on it the most strongly and emergently. So the patience has three parts. The first is that we try not to be overpowered by the hatred and wanting to harm others. That's the first thing. And there we try to understand that even when people do things that would harm us, or when people are not so nice, then it is not good for us to completely overpower ourselves from the hatred, because the hatred and anger harms ourselves much more actually than other people. Because when I am angry or I keep the hatred, that means I keep the feeling of hurt. And as long as I keep the feeling of hurt and feeling of hatred, I am always unhappy. I cannot be that I am joyful and delightful and at the same time angry. So therefore, anger, hatred is something that makes my life unhappy, difficult, sometimes even unbearable. So therefore, for my own good, I need to let go of my hatred, because that ruins my life. And actually, when I am angry, my motivation is that I don't want to be hurt, and that's why I am angry. But it serves the opposite. So therefore, with this understanding, I need to learn how to let go of anger and hatred. And that's the first. First is that kind of patience. The second kind of patience is what they call the forbearance. And that is to develop this, the habit that and understanding that if I want to do something great, if I want to help other beings, if I want to transform myself, it is not necessarily always a bed of roses. There will be problems, there will be obstacles, there will be difficulties. So therefore, I know there will be all those things, so therefore I must be ready to face them, to overcome them. So therefore, when I know that there will be problems, and it's a long-term thing, and it's not an easy thing, then I am prepared, and so therefore I am patient. Even if everything doesn't go exactly as I want, and everything doesn't turn out exactly I expect, then I know that it will be like that, doesn't matter, so I can be more patient, I can wait, I can work, slowly and long term, and step by step, and without losing my heart. That's the patience. So therefore, the more we can, generate and develop and learn how to be patient, the more successful we will be, and more, more power we will have to persevere. And then the last, or the third kind of patience is what we call as the tolerance. And this tolerance also refers to the tolerance of ideas and concepts, and that it's not only this way that I understand, or my way of thinking, or my way of doing, and that's right, and that's the only way that should be. But I develop my mind a little bit more broad, more kind of open, so that there can be many ways, there can be many methods, there can be different paths and different things that could also be useful and good. And so therefore, the more open-minded I become, the more tolerant I become, and the more I can respect not only one thing, my own way and my own way of seeing, but others' way of seeing, others' paths, other methods, other kind of people, and all sorts of things. So therefore, this is also a patience, that I could become more open-minded, more tolerant, and the very broad-minded. So these three things is the practice of the paramita of patience. The fourth paramita is the paramita of diligence or perseverance.